I'm going to show how to add a quiz to a Teams assignment. We're going to use Microsoft Forms, which is part of Office 365. I'm here on the Office 365 landing page, and I'm just going to click from my list of apps on the left-hand side here. I'm going to click on Forms to take me to that page. Here, I've created a quiz already, but if I hadn't, I could set up a new one using the new quiz button there. The difference between the form and the quiz is that you can set correct answers and assign points and give feedback for responses. I'm going to go to this periodic table quiz that I've set up, just so you can see what it looks like. I've added a video at the top, and then I've added 10 questions below with correct answers for students to answer. I'm then going to go to Teams, and within my team that I've set up, I've got my assignments tab and my grades tab, and that's what we're going to be looking at with this activity. These only appear on the general channel for your team. So all the assignments for this team would be set up and checked through the general channel. To create a new assignment, I'm just going to go to create at the bottom here, and in order to attach a form, I'm going to use the quiz option. This brings up a pop-up window that shows all the different quizzes that I've created. Again, if I've not created any already, I can go to new quiz there. That takes me off to the forms website where I can create the quiz, and then I come back to this part of the process again and it would appear. I'm going to click on the one that I've already created though, and then click on next. This takes me through to the general setup page for assignments. It's attaching the quiz there. The Microsoft form, chemistry, the periodic table is being attached there as a resource to the quiz. I'm just going to paste in some instructions that I've set up to guide the students on what to do here. Under the points section, it shows me how many points I've assigned within forms. So I've done 100, 10 points for each question to give me a percentage. I'm also going to use the assign to function here. So at the moment, the default is to assign it to all the students on my team. What I want to do though is I'm just going to assign this to a certain student. So here I'm going to assign it through to my student test account there. And I can see I've got one student that's been assigned to. The due date underneath there, I'm just going to use the default. So it's by 1 minute to midnight tomorrow night. But under there as well, there's a really important option that you can change for the late hand-ins. The default for assignments is set up that late hand-ins are allowed, and there's no cut-off point with that. What I want to do though is change that close date. I'm going to activate it by clicking in the tick box, and then I can give them maybe a little bit longer for late hand-ins. At the moment, that says late hand-ins are not allowed, but I could say give them an extra day to hand in late. Again, if that button is unticked, then late hand-ins are always allowed. And if we're assigning a Word document, for instance, we found that students can go in after the cutoff date and go and edit their work as you're marking it. I'm just going to click on done and come back to the assignment settings. In the top right corner here, we've got assign. So I'm going to send that out to that test student. What I'd like to do is to base a second assignment on that one that I've just issued. And to do that, I'm going to click back on create from existing. And then I'm going to go to my team. So I can also use assignments from other teams that I've set up, but I'm going to use the same one. So I go to that team, and then I can look at any assignments that I've set before. Here's the chemistry one. I'm going to click on next. And this creates a second version of this assignment. Again, it's assigned as by default to all my students. What I want to do though is give another student a different deadline. Maybe they've got extra time awarded, or we've had the class with them on a different day. etc. So I want to assign it to a different student. I can do that. I use all the other settings the same as that first one, but I'm just going to go back into that all students, and I'm going to assign this to Russell, so he can complete this on a different time scale. Go back into my due date to give him his own personal due date. I'm going to say it's going to give him an extra day. So the due date is the Saturday, and then come back into that, edit the closing date, and give him an extra day on there as well, to give him to Sunday night. Click on done, and then assign, and that is then added to my list of assignments. So I've got now two versions of that. I'm going to go over to the student view now and see how they complete the assignment. So I'm now on the student view of Teams. I'm going to look at this notification that I've had about the assignment that I've just been issued. So I can access it from this location as a student. I could also go to my assignments tab. I can see a red dot showing that I've got a new activity there when it's listed, which team it's from, which the due date, the points available, etc. I can also go directly from the team that it's assigned to, and I can see in the assignments tab that I've got this due by tomorrow. To complete the exercise, I click on the title, and then I can see the overview of my assignment. I'm going to click on the quiz link, and that opens up the form. I can watch the video as instructed. I'm going to jump straight to answering some questions though. I might try and get that one right. And then submit my answer. So I can go straight as a student because it's multiple choice. The quiz gets automatically marked. I can go through and see how I did. I can see my points are 60 out of 100 there, and then I can go through question by question and see what I got right. And when I've had a look through, I can close. That assignment has now been submitted by a student. They don't have to click on hand in. The hand in button is that submit at the end of the quiz, and we can see there it's been updated for the student that they've handed in at this time. They can also view their progress with the assignment in the grades tab, so they can see a rundown of their different assignments and what they've done. The points haven't appeared yet because it hasn't been returned by the tutor. Back on the teacher side of things here, I can see on my assignments tab that 1 out of 1 students has now handed in. If I want to go and have a look at their responses and more details, I can click on the assignment and go and see which students have handed in, the status of their assignment as well. I'm going to click on that line for that student and it takes me through to their submission. I can give some feedback to them over the top here. I can see it only took them 27 seconds to complete the quiz. So maybe I want to give them a bit of advice and take your time. And also maybe I want to give them some extra viewing to watch as a response to their answers. In order to return the assignment back to the student, I can do that by selecting their name. I could select all if I wanted to as well, and I can click on return, and that will send them back their feedback and their marks. I can also have a look on the grades tab here. It gives me an overview of who submitted for which assignment. I can go to open the student's work there, or I can also return the work to them from there as well as an individual. Back in the student view, I can see that I've had a notification to say that I've had an assignment returned. I can click on that and go through to the assignment. I can also see from the assignments tab again, I can look at what's happened within my version of this assignment. I've got the status of it there, but it's been returned to me at this time. I can also see the feedback that I've had from my tutor. So I've got that link there through to the extra viewing, and I can also see what points I've got